So if you like the bread cutter choke, but maybe sometimes you have trouble finishing it, I'm gonna show you how to use your noggin, your head, to add a little bit more pressure into the position. So if you were with me on the channel, maybe about a year and a half ago, we were talking about the shotgun arm bar where we were attacking this near side arm, right? And then there was a bread cutter option from there. I'll put the link to that particular playlist down in the links below. What I like about this particular position like this is I can attack this arm, I can attack the forearm, and I can attack the neck, and it gives me a lot of options. Now, when I was down in Costa Rica recently, my coach, Sean, showed me an adjustment to the bread cutter. So if you've ever been doing the bread cutter here, you know, we get here, we've got a cross, but maybe his hand comes up and gets a little bit of a grip here, and he starts defending, and you just can't quite finish it. Then here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna use our head, our noggin here, and we're gonna finish this thing. So let's turn this direction here, Adam. So check this out. When we do the bread cutter, all right, just some basics on it just to make sure you're clear. We wanna grab here, so you want a little bit of slack in it because, come around right here for me. So right here, when we play this position, the thing that you don't wanna do is you don't wanna get too deep and then it ends up just cutting down on the neck. Now, you could do this. Obviously, if you're in the middle of a competition or something and you get a little bit, it's fine, you can finish it. But again, in the gym, I'm always trying to train with as much technical finesse and finishing things as cleanly as possible. That's my own philosophy. You can take that with whatever you want, right? You don't have to follow that. But you start deep and you can always loosen up a little bit. Now, what we do is we try to get the hinge of this grip here, right? This hinge, and we try to have the hinge of the lock here right over top of the Adam's apple, right over top of the neck. This way, when I start to drop the forearm, there's not a lot of direct pressure here. It's on the carotid here, and at the same time, I'm flexing. Anytime you do a collar choke, you're always casting or reeling in, right? And we're flexing the wrist into it. Now, meanwhile, we'll have the grip down here, grabbing onto the lapel, and it just tightens up and gets really tight. Now, that said, when he starts to grab, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get here and put our head down into the position, and I'm gonna get up on my toes and finish. So when you do the bread cutter, just sort of some details that might be helpful anyway. When you do the bread cutter, let's turn this direction here, back out a little bit here. You wanna get up onto your toes, and we wanna let our weight sort of sag just a little bit, and you wanna make sure that the heaviest place that you feel pressure pressing back into you is on your forearm. So if you think about like just sitting on the mat right now, I can feel that the heaviest place that I am, as far as where I am and where my pressure is on my butt cheeks right now. If I sit here and I get into like Kesa on Adam here, Case Katami or modified Case Katami, I can feel that the heaviest place where I've got the most pressure with my body is right here on his body. And so what I wanna do is I wanna apply as much pressure as I can right here. So when I'm pushing, I wanna make sure that when I get up on my toes, all of my weight is going onto his neck. And then if he's defending, I place my forehead over top of my grip. And then from here on my toes, I drive. And so what that's doing is you're using your head to drive into it to counterbalance the fact that he's gripping and maybe defending it. And so again, that's a really neat adjustment. If you haven't used it before, if you like that bread cutter, if you like that arm lock bread cutter series that I showed already, if you've used it before, try this out. Put your forehead right over top, like right over top here, and then help it and drive into the neck with your forearm. Basically, you're just essentially getting in a tripod here. Just like this, and driving in and letting your hips sink, and just adding a little bit more pressure to your forearm that's driving into their neck. And again, it makes for a nastier bread cutter choke. I've used it, even if you don't necessarily need to defend that, even if they're not defending, you can still use it to add a little more pressure. So anyways, I'm finished. Hopefully that helps you guys. Adam?
Adam.